Alright guys, welcome back to another video. On this video I'm going to do my brake line tuck. You got your brake line. In my case it's 3/16. You'll need a double flaring tool, which comes with these little like things that bubble flares it, and then you flare it again with this. You need a tube cutter, a file, and a line bender. I don't know if you can see that little purple fitting. There's another one over there. And those come out right there into the fender wells for the front brakes. And I have my proportioning valve mounted right there. So on here, that line and that line go to the back brakes. That one goes to the front right. That one goes to the front left. That one goes to the front feed on the master. That one goes to the rear feed on the master. We're gonna make the lines and everything else, so stay tuned. So what I did at first is you're gonna want to find where you want to locate your prop valve, and I chose right there. And I did already get that line finished. Didn't really record any of that because that was really hard to get that in. So I am going to show you basically how I want to do this back line that goes to that fitting over there. So this is basically what I did. I took just a regular metal coat hanger, cut the little twisty part off, straightened it out as best as I could, and so I stick it in the hole, and then I start my 90 from there, and then I just kind of form it the way I want it to, and then it goes into the prop valve, and then you just bend it however you want it to run against the firewall, then obviously over to there. So the next step is then you take your 3/16 line and you bend it to the shape of that coat hanger to the best of your abilities. I mean, it doesn't have to be super perfect because you can kind of manipulate it a little bit once you get it in there. You will want to put your fittings and everything on there. Probably the second one you want to do after you have everything bent so that you know it's the right length. And then I threaded this onto the fitting, and then I kind of ran this to the prop valve and marked it, and then cut it and flared it. But I'll show you guys how to do a flare and everything here in a second. So then this is what it kind of looks like installed, and I did it to where it doesn't vibrate against anything, which could potentially put a hole in the line. Then it runs that way and then back to the prop valve. And I did curve it around this because this is where all my wires are going to come through for my engine harness, and I didn't want this to come down over here because then the wires would lay over the top of it. So I thought ahead a little bit. And then I haven't really decided what I want to do for the back brakes, because I don't want to drill the 2 holes in the firewall up here and then have 2 more holes out in the engine bay. I think I might run them like straight down and then into the like the exhaust tunnel. I think that'd be a way cleaner look. That one is really close to the clutch pedal. I don't know if you can see it, but it's like a 1/16 inch away from that clutch pedal arm. And then that one comes out right here in the fender well. So I think what I'm gonna do is just make a hard line that comes out, goes up, and then angles back down into the stock bracket so that I can run my soft lines to the knuckles. This is a pretty easy kit to install. It's not too terribly hard. You just have to get comfortable with flaring. And how I did it is I took some of the old brake line, some of this, and I cut little pieces of it and kind of practiced flaring on that. That way I didn't mess up too many of the pieces, and I haven't messed up one on the new line. So this is what I was talking about. I just cut this thing off. And then kind of just straighten this out as best as you can. Now I have a straight piece of metal. So now we go up under here. So this is the bracket that we want to go through, and then that thing has a soft line with a female. So how I did it is I just take this, shove it in the hole so that it has a little bit of, like, there's like 2 inches inside of there. Took it and kind of marked it where I want it to turn, and then I give it a little bit of a bend. So then you can take this out, shove this in here, and then once it's all like popped in, kind of just finesse it where it sits kind of in the middle, just like that. Then you bend it. I like to hold this up to it just to kind of get a rough idea on how much needs bent. See how the angles kind of match. And I take it and bend it just a smidge more because it has a little bit of rebound. So there's the first bend. So, see? I'm gonna go right here. See, this one's gonna be tricky because it's 180 degrees. Just bend it. And you bend it all the way, just like that. So then you got that bend. Go hanger. Pretty close. Take your little hose cutter. Figure out where you need to cut it. I cut this piece a little long so that it'll go through, and I'll flare that one when I get the soft lines put back on. Kind of tighten this little nut, spin it around, and it'll pop off. So there's the line. And then how I test fit it is I just take and get in here, just like that. And then this is all extra, like I said. I'll cut it, I'll trim it and flare it and everything once I get the soft lines put back in. So then when you go to flare it, you're gonna need this guy, which is like a little tube sleeve, and then this guy, which is just the tightening nut. Then you'll put it on the side you want to flare. You'll put the tube nut on first, and then the little line sleeve on after. Slide that down out of your way. Grab your flaring tool. You'll grab this piece, and the 3/16 bubble flare piece. So you'll take this little guy, and there's a step. So you'll take it and you'll put it like this. You want that line flush with that step. You want to tighten these as pretty much as tight as you can get them. So that side's tapered, and this side has a little pin. You want to stick this little pin in that hole, just like that. Then take this guy, just like that, and then tighten this down until that little fitting thing in there bottoms out, just like that. Pull this guy out, and it makes like a bubble, so it's got like a dome top on it. I don't know if you can see that. Yeah, it's got a little protrusion. So then what you want to do is you take this without that fitting, thread it back down onto the line, and then tighten this back down. I don't know, use your best judgment, I guess, on this part. You just want to tighten it until it's kind of tough. That'll probably do. Then you just loosen everything up. Pull this back out. And you got a pretty nice little flare going on there. Look at those little marks, but then when this slides up, should make a nice tight seal. When you put this on, bam. So it's pretty simple. So that's what it looks like all installed. It's pretty loose in there, it doesn't touch nowhere. This is flared. It's good, and I left this a little long so that, like I said, I can cut this and flare it and put this same fitting on the end. And with the two lines that come off the master, I need to actually install the brake booster and master to figure out where I can drill in over here. Okay, so it's like a few days later, and I kind of did a lot of this off camera, but I did get all the brake lines done. So that's the front right, those two, that one back there. Front left, obviously it's way down there right next to the clutch pedal, and it comes up and goes right there. And then these two come from the master cylinder and go to this. Now I have not figured out what I want to do with the rears. I don't know if I want to do some -3 lines that just run from here straight to the back and just delete the -3 lines or the hard lines completely from underneath the car. Have not decided yet. So, but I'll show you the engine bay. This is how I kind of got it ran. I got it from there, goes under, comes straight up, and it goes right like that. And these are kind of like little banjo fittings, and they're still flexible, so I can move them a little bit. But that's how I have it ran so far. And like I said, I haven't really decided what I want to do with the rear ones. I don't know if I just want to run a braided line from there and then just run it down this way and then through these, the two holes for the e-brake. Because I'll probably in time run a staging brake instead of the regular e-brake. So, but yeah, it's coming along pretty well. Still got a mess of wiring to do. I just wanted to get that stuff done so that I could kind of get the dash put back in, you know. But I think that's going to be it for this video. Any helpful tips you got on any of this stuff? Like I said, I don't know what I'm going to do with the rear brakes. I don't know the easiest way. I don't really want to drill 2 more holes into the firewall. Yeah, I appreciate all you guys sticking around, following the build, and could give this video a like, comment, and if you haven't subscribed already, hit the subscribe button. Until next time, peace.